I'm Dan Rainey, reporter-producer for CBN. I have a master's in anthropology, and I travel the world, bringing back stories of the good CBN does in people's lives. Now I want to go deeper with people to better understand their struggles as they fight to survive, one day at a time. When the plane landed in Masai Mara, I was greeted by the vast array of wildlife that helped make this relatively untouched part of Kenya famous. I soon arrived at a nearby Masai village and was welcomed by the students of a school built and supported by CBN's Orphans Promise. Village life here is peaceful. Children go to school, mothers tend to their homes, and men take the cattle to graze. That day, I met up with Olanasi and his family.
Nice, thank you. Masai don't have shepherd's crooks, they have spears, because we have lions here.
I constantly whistle, so the wild animals know I'm around. It keeps them away.
Herding cattle. Seemed easy. Little harder than it looks.
I lost them, like the whole herd. Found him.
As we were herding, Olanasi and I talked.
Before CBN came here, we had to go very far to get enough water for our cattle and ourselves. I lost 50 of my cattle during the drought. I had terrible pains in my stomach because of sickness from the dirty water. At one point, I was too sick to take my cattle out, so my wife had to do it. That day, lions came and killed 2 of my cattle.
I was afraid I would be the next victim. I climbed a tree and called for help until some men came and chased the lions away. After that, I never looked after the cattle again.
Olanasi and I walked over fields and through thick brush to where they used to collect water. CBN drilled a deep well right by the old source. Now, even during drought, they have enough water for the entire village and all their cattle.
So the old water source and the new water source are really side by side. Those solar panels are pumping fresh, clean water all the way up to the village. Now, in the old days, they used to collect water here from this open spring, and they shared this with animals. So this is not water you would ever want to drink.
Whenever I went for water, I was afraid lions would be there drinking. The water was very far away. We'd go through the wilderness to get there, and on the way, we'd meet with wild buffalo and elephants.
Because of your help, we have many cattle again. Since the taps are so close to the village, people can now fetch water anytime they want, without fearing the wild animals. Before, we only bathed once each week. Now we can bath whenever we want.
You know, I've done this water routine before, but I can see the village from here, and I know this is fresh, clean water, so this is a piece of cake.
Having water so close has changed everything. Now, even the children can fetch water.
After bringing in the cattle, they showed me how they craft that elaborate jewelry. Making a big bracelet takes about 2 weeks.
It's a Masai tradition to dress as we do. Some like wearing more than others. You cannot wear the traditional clothing without the beads. You have to look shiny.
With more time on their hands thanks to the well, the ladies make more jewelry to sell in the market, ensuring a steady flow of income for their families.
We are so happy. The support we received is so important. Everyone in the village benefits from the projects. As a born-again Christian, I know that it was God who gave us the well and the school.
Before the school was built, classes were held under a tree.
Our books blew in the wind, and when it rained, we stayed home. We were taught about God under the tree, so we prayed and asked God for a church, a school, and water. Now all those prayers are answered.
At night, when the children have gone home, the chores are done, and the cattle are resting, parents come to the school, one by one, to learn how to read and write themselves. It's something they never had the opportunity to do before.
1, 2, 3.
My life has changed. I can write 1 to 100. This means I can walk to the bank, write my own name and my numbers, and withdraw my money without any help.
In the beginning, it was hard for me to use a pen on a book, but now it has become so easy.
When my mom comes back from class, she asks me questions about the things she didn't understand. I explain things and help her. I am so proud of her.
With water from the well, we also started a vegetable garden outside the village. As the women of the village tend the garden, children come from the school to learn all about agriculture. Some of the crops are used to feed the kids at school. The village gets all the rest. It's a different way of life for the Masai, but one that was necessary for their survival.
During the famine, there was not even any milk. The cows dried up and died, and there was always sickness and death. Now everyone is healthy, and disease is a thing of the past.
As the day drew to an end, the men of the village showed me how they make fire.
Yeah. It's happening so fast. I thought we would be here like 2 hours. I see smoke already.
Then it was my turn.
This is why they do it as a demonstration and don't let other people try with them. There's a little smoke. Well, I'm getting there. Yes, it is harder than it looks. Has it been 2 hours yet? I'm not even anywhere close, am I? Well, we got the fire started without much help from me at all. We're getting ready to get the party started.
In honor of my visit on behalf of CBN, the warriors of the village danced and sang long into the night. We roasted a goat over the open fire, and we all ate until we were full. I didn't want the night to end, but eventually it was time to sleep. I went inside, past the goats and the chickens, and turned in.
Long day, but a good day. They've got their spare room set up for me, so I think I'm going to sleep pretty hard tonight. Oh.
Early the next morning, it was time to say our goodbyes.
Thank you for everything.
I am so happy that Dan came to visit us, and I am grateful for all that CBN has made happen in our village. God be with you wherever you go.
I thank God for what He has done, and I thank Him for your coming here. You have changed our lives.
As I drove away, I took in the sights and sounds of Kenya one last time. I left with a sense of peace, knowing the families here have hope for a brighter future.